What's up, guys? Chasing Labour here with episode number 15 of Red vs. Blue. In today's episode, to make up for the lack of episodes so far this week and this one being out late, we're going to do a combined transfer special / first game of the season. We've got a league tie with FC United Manchester in the Vanarama North, and we've got an FA Cup extra preliminary round game with Maine in, the FA Cup. Good times. English. I'm doing well. Right, let's just go, bring the bell. This might be a long one, so do make yourself a cup of tea, and I'll see you after the intro.
Streets are full of dreams and lies. Every corner has a story. With a pint and cloudy skies, we chase our fleeting glory. Manchester nights are calling. In the madness we are falling. Round and round the wheels turning. Bright city always burning.
So we're going to start things off with the transfers, the new signings for FC United of Manchester. Then we'll go straight into that for that game of our first game. We'll come back. We'll do the blue half later, so you can divide the episode nicely in two. So let's go see who the new signings are. So first in the door was Ben Jordison, who joins us from Burnley. He's a left back and a centre half. One for the future, maybe more than one for now, but he's going to sit in our 18s for now, and we'll slowly bring him into the team as he develops. He's had a loan out, I thought he had a loan out at Spennymoor, but he went from Spennymoor to Burnley. Burnley released him. He signed for us, so we'll see what he can do for us. I think he looks decent. He doesn't look like he's a world beater just yet, but he's got decent potential. We'll see if he can grow, and he's not on a full contract, so if he doesn't work out, we'll just let him go. Nice and simple. Will Murdoch is a Northern Irish under-19 goalkeeper joining us from Manchester United. He's already the second best goalkeeper in the squad, and I think he's going to develop quite well. He might be a threat to Sebastian Jensen before the end of the season. And he looks very good. So coming through at Manchester United, hasn't actually played for them. I don't know why it's not kept the 24-25 stats. I have no idea. I can't imagine. Was he released for that long? Is that what's happened to him? Let's have a little ship doesn't say what's happened to him. It doesn't say what's happened to him. So apparently he's just had a season without any football. I don't know. Anyway, he is. He's looking like he's a good player and hopefully can develop into something special for us. Lucas Horton joins us from Blackburn, and again, it's not recorded last season stats, but there we go. That's live. He plays everywhere on the left-hand side at midfield and defence, and up the centre as well. So very versatile player. He's not the best player in the squad, but he will hopefully enough. And again, like the first player, we saw another player who we can just release if he's not working out. So, no real risk to us at all. He only gets paid when he's playing. So if he doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. But, we've picked him up. He's a good pickup for us, and we'll see what he turns into. Now, we have kind of raided Burnley's youth team a lot. Adam Abbas is one of them. He's a striker who will be in and around our first team. He's probably our second best striker in the squad right now. So we'll be very much a backup, but with room to develop. And again, he's on a pay-as-you-play contract, which is quite nice for us. Gives us that flexibility. But I like his finishing and his composure for this level. I like that he's got acceleration and pace. He's decent off the ball, which will help us. And he's actually pretty decent in the air. So, again, bit of an all-rounder. And hopefully someone we can use to get ourselves some goals. Teddy Bramwell joins us from Blackburn. Can play on both sides as a fullback. He's quick. He makes good decisions. His teamwork and work rate are excellent. Maybe his technicals could be better, but again, it's an 18-year-old player. We're bringing him all 18. Well, every player we brought in has been 18 this summer. And he needs to work on his abilities a little bit. I think I'm working on training his weaker foot. And if I'm not, we are now. There we go, job done. Because his left foot not so good for a player that can play left back. But again, one for us to develop, one with no rest, and we'll see how it goes. Adam McCoy plays all the way out the middle and is primarily defensive midfielder, but again, can fill a centre half. Probably shouldn't because he's not the tallest. He's about 5'6". So I should really convert that into Imperial, but I don't know why I haven't. Anyway, he's decent enough in both the centre half if we need to use him there, and as a defensive midfielder to really fit into our team, really help us out. And again, one for the future. Again, a player from Burnley, and we'll see how that works out for us. Joel Catesby is a winger that joins us from Everton, and at this level, all you really want is some pace and some acceleration to really make a difference. He's got those, but he can dribble, he can cross, he can pass. His technique's decent, he works hard enough, and his personality is pretty good as well. So again, a player that can come into our team, really fight for places, and we've actually given him a contract which sort of reflects how much I sort of saw in him as a player. We know he can develop, and we're going to see if he can develop very nicely with us. We don't know what his ceiling is, but you'd have to imagine it's at least National League, so we'll see how that goes. Now, another one of our Burnley contingent is the left wing-back, Luca Jackson. He is our second best left wing-back, but I'm going to trade him, obviously, to play as a left-back, because I very rarely play with wing-backs unless things are absolutely dire. But we've given him a contract. We're going to see if he can develop, because I think he's got what it takes. Again, he's got that kind of pace that I look for in every player, but his technicals do need work. So again, we're going to hope that the training takes hold. We're training as a left full-back defensive, just because I think that gives the maximum kind of push to marking and tackling. Those are the areas, and positioning as well. Those are the areas who need us to improve in. So that's what we're working on, and hopefully he'll come good for us in the future. And again, joining us from Burnley is Frankie McMahon-Brown. He's currently injured, but looks like a good central midfielder who can attack, which is beautiful for us. Doesn't have much in the way of pace, but he does have better technicals, and his vision and work rate, I think, will make him quite dangerous. It says he should be a Mazzala. I don't think he's a Mazzala with that pace. I'm not convinced that he's going to be much. Yeah, if he gets out into a wide area, it's going to take him a long time to get back if we lose the ball. So I think he's probably going to be playing more as a playmaker of some kind, just because that vision's really good for this level. And yeah, again, not playing any professional football, any senior football, but yeah, everyone starts somewhere, and I think we're a good place for him to start. Stephen Edmondson is another our Blackburn contingency. I'm hoping our Blackburn and Burnley players can get on with each other, because we know there's a rivalry there. He's quite versatile as well. Can play as a defensive midfielder, central midfielder, anywhere in the attacking midfield, which is really nice. Has that pace, has good technique. Everything else in his technicals probably needs a lot of work, but we've got time to develop him. Again, he's on a long contract, so we can bid him off if we need to. But we'll let him develop a little bit before we make any real decision on his future. He's got big potential, and it could be with us for a while, but it very much depends on how long it takes him to really find his feet here. Now, another Burnley refugee is Oliver Pinlot. He is a central midfielder, attacking midfielder, and left wing back. Curiously, I don't think I'm going to be using him as a left wing back, because he doesn't have a left foot. I don't know if I'm developing his left foot. I'm not. I should have gone through and done that before. There we go. Now we're developing his left foot. And yeah, we'll see how that goes for him. He apparently is a Mazzala. His pace is better, so he'll do slightly better in terms of getting back when we need him to. Although his positioning is going to need some work, so we'll try and figure that out as well as we go. And yeah, we're just going to try and get as much out of this guy as we can. He's good enough to be in our team. Apparently, he's our best central midfielder currently, and that's going to prove very valuable if he can hit the ground running for us. Now, our starting left back for this season is going to be Harry Evers. He's joined us from Liverpool. His pace is a little bit suspect. It's something we can work on, I will work on, but everything else is fairly well balanced. He is apparently best at wide midfielder, but I have signed him to be a left back for us, because I think that's where we most need him. He's a decent player for this level already, which is nice. It's good to see. And yeah, hopefully he can kick on and really show us something as well. But he will have competition at left back from a former Liverpool teammate in Clay Ewing. These guys are probably sick of the sight of each other. They largely fill the same roles, to be honest, in slightly different ways. Clay Ewing can also play in the centre of midfield, which means he's versatile enough to slot in where we need him to. Again, has that pace. He can dribble, he can cross. He's probably slightly better forward than Harry Evers is. So we'll see how that goes. But again, having options is never a problem. So we'll work it out. Nathan Willis joins us from Blackburn. Again, a central midfielder who can play both defensive and attacking. Always good to have one of those in the squad. Gives you a chance to shuffle things around. I'm not a huge fan of him pace-wise, but everything else is beautiful. 15 for passing at this level is deadly. And if I can get his vision up, he can become an absolute monster of a playmaker with that at this level. Already good for this level, with a lot of room to improve. We like to see that. He's on a contract with us till the end of the season, and we'll see how that goes for him. We're working on his determination, and it's apparently going very, very well. He's being mentored very well, apparently. And yeah, we're going to hope that that's something we can really look forward to, and yeah, get him playing some good football. Sean Neve from Newcastle is going to fill our #1 striker role, replacing DJ Campson-Sturridge, who refused to sign a new contract with us even after promotion. Thought he was too good for this level, and he's now, I've looked at him currently in negotiations with Bury in the division below. So that's a decision well made by him. Either way, we move on and we get Sean Neve, a striker with good finishing and composure, good first touch, good heading, good technique. Decisions could be a little sloppy. We'll work on that. Good off the ball, and he's quick and can accelerate, and those things are all improving. And I think that's going to prove really well. He's had 10 goals in 7 games in pre-season, so we know he's got something aligned. He's already good enough for this level, and if he hits the ground running, we're laughing. Now, we also signed Connor Brown on a free after he was released by Nottingham Forest. I think he's currently the best player in the squad. He is an attacking midfielder, and I don't know if I'm ready to change to a 4-2-3-1 with FC United yet. Luckily, he can just about play in the centre of midfield, which is where we're going to try and use him for now, get that up. But again, a very good player all round. His technicals are great for this level, at least. For his mentals are pretty solid all around. Could use some work on his determination, but again, we'll mentor him. We'll see if we can get that out of him. We're paying him £34,000 a year, so that's going to be a challenge. And again, his pace and his acceleration needs some work, but we're going to make the best out of it because I think he's a very, very good player for this level. Very, very good all round. Should be quite consistent, I think. I've not had a proper look under the hood. He is, there we go, a consistent performer. That's what we like to see. If you're a player, you usually have to look. Let's drop a tip in it. You usually have to look at the coach's report to see if someone's consistent. If their mentals are this well balanced, usually they're quite consistent. It just tends to go hand in hand. Either way, I think he's going to be a really good signing for us. We're going to try and get as much out of him as we can. And yeah, another really good prospect for us for the future. Campbell Darcy is a centre-half that's coming to us on loan from Hartlepool. He spent last year with Master United in the Northern Premier with us and did very, very well for them. When we played against him, I thought he played very, very well and looked very good. So I picked him out, and I'm not unhappy with the decision. I think he's going to be competition for guys like Matty Downing. And, again, that all helps us out. He's not necessarily the best centre-half in the world, but, he's a young player. He's costing us nothing. He's here on loan for the season. And if he looks like he might be good, maybe his contract expires and we sign him. It's a no-risk kind of signing for us. And our final signing of the pre-season, at least, is Dylan Crowe. He is a former under-18 international, 24, the oldest player I've signed this summer. Can play on both sides as a fullback, although his left foot needs work, and we are working on it. I did check before I started talking about him this time. He's had an interesting career for a 24-year-old. Started at Ipswich, where he never played a game for them. Went to Leiston on loan, played once, then joined Torquay on a free, played 22 times in the National League, played 8 times in the National League South with them in their first season down there. Back down there. That's where they were in real life. Then he's joined Havant Waterloo on loan to play another couple of games. Actually got 2 goals and an assist and 2 player of the matches while playing at Torquay. Don't know why you've blown him out. That's good form. Joined Kingsland on a free in the National League North, so he knows this level. He played 26 games here, scored twice. Spent last season, or the back end of last season, on loan at Lewis in the Isthmian League Premier, in the level below this, but the London part. And now joined us on a free. So we'll see how he does. And I guess that means we should move on and see how they're going to line up for our first game. So before we get to the game, a quick look at the season preview. And FC United are predicted to finish in 11th place in the National League North, which is not too bad for a newly promoted side. Macclesfield predicted to finish 3rd, which is pretty impressive. But we'll see how that shakes out for us as the season goes on. We've got no players in the Dream 11, which is sad to see. But let's go make the lineup and see how we do on our National League North debut, at least for this series. So our starting lineup today is going to be Jensen in goal. It's going to be Crowe, Mayer, Darcy and Evers. At the back, we've got Hewlett, Brown and Pimlott in midfield. Behind Catesby and Fitzmartin, Sean Neve will start up top. We're sticking with the 4-3-3 for now. Stebana starts on the bench alongside of McCoy, Downing, Edmondson and Adam Abbas, who joins us from Burnley, of course, in the summer. And we're going to hope that they can be a really strong force for us this season. All I ask is that we stay up. Well, if we'll go into the dressing room, taking a wee screenshot, ladies and gents, because we've got that rare situation where you've got a 1 to 11 and a fixed number situation. I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened to be that was how it auto selected the numbers. Good stuff for us. But there we go. So we've got a 1 to 11 starting. Never happens. Never happens in a fixed number system these days. I want to be impressed. Go put on a show is what I'm going to say to the boys. And I have faith in you. Make a difference is what we're going to also say, because let's not put too much pressure on them. Let's just see if they can get the result we need today. And we'll go from there. Here at Telford United, who were a long time in their many guises residents of the Conference and Conference North. And we hopefully should be able to get a result against them today. We're looking like it's glorious weather here in the Midlands. And we're just going to hope we can start our season off with a win, because that would be ideal, as always. We're, of course, in our red shirts. We're wearing white socks today because I guess Telford are wearing black socks. I wasn't paying attention. But I figure that's probably how that happens. And it's entirely trivial. So let's encourage the boys. Let's settle in. And let's hope we can get an early goal. Catesby now on the ball with a chance to run out the Telford defence. Cutting inside for Brown. Brown goes back to Catesby. Connor Brown with a shot. And Connor Brown, I think I mentioned earlier, is actually an attacking midfielder filling in central midfield. But I want to train him to play there. So Crow gets the ball into the box from the corner, and Basie makes the save. And, well, we've had a couple of decent chances. That's okay. We are looking like we want to try and stay up, we want to fight, and we want to try and win. I've just noticed Reece Devine is playing at left back for Telford and taking this corner, ex-Swindon player, headed away by Mayer, only as far as right to Whitehouse, with a shot off Mayer again, finally cleared by Ebbers, but only as far as Meehan at the back. Ball finds its way forward for Reece Devine. Ebbers takes the ball off and we're on a counter-attack. Can Pimlock create something here? Releases the ball to Catesby, and Catesby going on a run now. Can he get into the box and score? Everything was there except the finish. It was a great run. Everything was there for him except for the finish there. And if he looks that lively all season, we're going to see gold from him. Throwing now from Ebbers to Fitzmartin to Darcy. Darcy goes across to Mayer. Mayer is going to take his time, puts the ball forward to Catesby again. So he's got another mazy dribble. Thought about it, but unfortunately, his own right back got in his way and he lost the ball. And it's now with Oyabade at the back for Telford. Gives it away, though, to Catesby, who's got space to run into. He's going to find his way into the box again. Turns inside, cuts onto his left foot. Keeper makes a save. Goes out for a corner. And Joel Catesby is looking like a great pickup in this summer window as Crow now steps up for the corner. Into the box. Can we get a head to it? We can't. Spasov heads it back to Crow. And Crow will look for an option. Another cross goes over. Catesby with a header. And again, into the hands of Basie. But Catesby looking very, very dangerous in this game so far. And not unhappy with him as a signing at this stage. Basie with a goal kick goes downfield. And won by Darcy with a header to Catesby, who gives it away to Webster. Whitehouse now on the ball to Devine. Reece Devine having a run at us. Can we get a tackle in? Probably not. If we can't chase him down, luckily Jensen's there for the cross. And gathers it quite comfortably. And hopefully we're going to go on a counter here. Nice short throw to Mayer. Is he going to find a good ball forward? Looking for Brown. Brown turns it to Catesby. Catesby on another chance to go on a run. Plays it to Pimlott, to Hewlett. Hewlett forward to Neve. Neve through ball for Pimlott. Pimlott with a shot off everything and falls to Catesby. Neve is fouling people in the box. Tackle fouls. I think it was Sam Mulhall that said it was. I asked the referee. I don't know. He fouled someone and, well, it didn't really help our cause, but that's fine. We're looking okay. I don't know how Catesby's on a 6.5. He's looked really good every time we've seen him. Neve loses the ball, though. And Spasov has picked it up. Can we get this ball back to Devine, though? And tackle, please, Catesby, anytime you like. Evers with a header back towards his goal. And I don't know why he's done that. Evers headed that to Stenson, who laid it off for Lawrence to score, and I don't know what he was thinking. Devine gets a cross in. Evers, what was that header? I mean, Jameson was in trouble from the second that left Evers' head, and we go a goal behind on the stroke of half-time. That wasn't how I wanted this to play out, and we'll have to just say I want to see a better display in the second half. I'm going to grab Fitzmartin and Catesby and all the guys it says aren't playing well and give them an additional play better, because that's just not the way. Let's see what we do in second half. We can't get too worried just yet. It's a very new side, a lot of new signings in it, and if we keep this up, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. That's what I'm saying, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story. So let's see how that goes. As Whitehouse now picks up the ball for Telford to Devine again. Devine to Stenson. I've never seen Reece Devine be this involved in a game of football. It's crazy. Stenson back for Devine to Whitehouse. Whitehouse for the through ball. Mayer gets it clear though, back as far as Devine, and he gets another cross in. Let's head this clear. We haven't, and luckily the header goes over, and we get a little bit of a second to relax. Evers with a throw in. I was just thinking about making some subs. Hopefully we can get a goal where I can have an easier time deciding who comes off. As Crow picks the ball back up, goes all the way back to Jensen, and can he get a forward here? Darcy, look for a good pass, buddy. Go on, there we go. To Brown, to Hewlett. Hewlett forward for Neve. Neve sprays out wide for Catesby, who needs to get a good cross in here. Does. Looks for Fitzmartin, who can't win it in the air. Evers does get it back, though. And apparently that was a cross. Coventry said that was a cross. And I don't know what that was. I just think he's forgotten how to play football. Crow certainly has. It's come off his back, and he's given it to Whitehouse. This is going to be 2-0. You can feel it coming. Cross goes over for Spassop, just over the bar. And I think it may be time that I make some changes. Free kick with Lawrence for Telford. I can tell you three substitutions is never enough, as Jensen saves the header from Stenson. We brought Stabana right back, Downing at centre half, and Edmondson on the left wing for Fitzmartin. I debated taking Evers off, but it was 50-50. Obviously, the back, I thought we'd just bring in Downing. He's got a partnership existing with Mayer. Maybe those guys playing alongside each other will at least inspire some more defensive stability. I'm slightly annoyed at how we've gone from being the better team in this game to losing and not looking like getting back in it. But hopefully something can come. Devine with a corner into the box. Let's win this in the air. We didn't, but the header over the bar. And we get another reprieve, quite frankly. Catesby's just dropping in ratings. I don't know. He looks so good at the start of the game. I don't know how he's dropped off this dramatically. It could be just because he's tired. But that's not really an excuse, as things... We're going to berate the boys. As things that look like they're going to wrap up at a 1-0. I can't claim it's been the most exciting game in the world, as you've seen from the highlights. But I feel like we should have got a point from this at least, as Hill gets the throw in now for Telford. We're in injury time. About 90 seconds to go. Butler to Oyabade. Ball over the top looking for Stenson. If he scores here, I feel like we'll deserve it. Stabana luckily heads it away. If the box, though, Lawrence with a header over the bar. And frankly, that was a let-off. And I'm not sure if 1-0 is actually a fair reflection of how this game has gone. To be honest, we have been outclassed everywhere on the field, and we shouldn't be. So I'm not sure what we do from here. Hopefully, it's just a case of them getting to know each other, and we'll see how that goes. But let's hope we know what we saw, and let's wrap things up. So it's time for our main road transfers before we go into the Emirates FA Cup extra preliminary round against AFC Portchester. I think are from Dorset off the top of my head. Either way, let's go look at who's joined us for this season. Now, we actually started our transfer business really, really early for this one. This guy joined us in the middle of April. And Vivaldi Kabamba is a Congolese striker. Has never played for a club before. We're his first club, but I saw him on the list of 3 players and thought I'd give him a go. 18 years old. I think I actually set this up a couple of years ago. And he was just kind of waiting to turn old enough to come in. I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, he's a striker. He's going to be playing for Shildon on loan this season. He's currently in our reserves, but he would play for Shildon on loan this season, and he's already played one game for them. We'll see how he develops. Again, he's on a 1.1k a year contract, so it's not a big outlay for him, and he does have potential, so we'll see how that works out for him. Maybe he'll be a quick developer. We'll find out. Our second signing was a much more familiar name to people who've been following the series. Jordan Carroll comes back to the club. Our free kick and corner specialist. This guy was absolutely rattling in goals and assists for fun when we saw him last time he was with us. I'm paying him nearly £11,000 a year, but he's joined us finally on a real transfer from Farsley, where he was playing in the National North last season and playing fairly well. A goal and 2 assists. You can see here he's loaded with us before. 5 goals and 6 assists in 29 games is not bad for a right back. He has. It will say he's playing for the reserves because he's played a few games just in pre-season for them. Obviously, they're very much connected. We're in the Hope Valley Amateur League Premier with the reserves, having been promoted last season. I have no idea if that's good or bad, or even where that's. Let's have a look. Let's just have a quick wander. That looks like it's still a Manchester area league. I just don't know where Hope Valley is, and that's fine. Anyway, Jordan Carroll will come to the team. He will be fighting for chances at right back. We've got a couple of good options in there, but because we know what he can do, he's probably going to get. If I'm ever in that situation where I think I'm not sure who plays, it's probably going to be him, just because I know what he can do. Owen Granger joins us on a free from Leeds. He is a goalkeeper. This is like with the FC United transfer, where everyone feels like they came from Burnley. Everyone pretty much feels like they've come from Leeds for Maine Road. So just an advanced warning, but he looks like a good goalkeeper for the future. Not for now. He's a project because he can be North-South standard. He's not quite ready yet. I think he's mostly going to play for our reserves this season. But again, a project for the long term because he's good technically speaking. It's just his mentals and his physicals maybe need a little bit more work. But a good all-round goalkeeper, I think, and we'll look and see how he develops. Mackenzie Paisley joins us from Rotherham, and he's a left-back. And again, one for the future. He's got a 2-year contract as well, 1.6k a year. He's very quick, but everything else but his tackling really does need some work. But he's a fairly determined player, and we like to see that. He's currently under a bid for loan from Histon and Sleaford, so he might go out and play football somewhere else this season. But again, a project. He's a project that can develop, and we'll see how that works out for us. Now, as he will play for us this season is Keir Spark. He is from Burton and a pretty good striker. He's not the best in the world, but good finishing, decent composure. He's quick enough to get the job done. He's got a good personality. He's determined. He's good in the air. He is a poacher by trade, but we can't turn into something else. He's quite tall, so a target man isn't unrealistic, or even a pressing forward. Not that unrealistic. His vision is a bit suspect, though, which would put me off like playing as a pressing forward or a deep line forward, where perhaps they need to be able to be a bit more creative. So we'll see how that goes. But again, he's got time to develop. He's with us till the end of the season. He's on a cheap contract, and if he plays well, he plays well. He does well, and we hopefully get some goals out of him. He will, however, have competition for that starting berth up top from Theo Carroll, who has joined us from Preston North End. And again, he's quick and very, very good on the ball. He's an advanced forward, so it's more kind of movement with him than goal scoring. But, you know, maybe we play with 2 up top. I haven't really worked it out yet. I will work it out in a second, of course. We play. But I haven't worked it out yet. But again, a good young player for the future. He's on a non-contract basis, so I've got to keep an eye on that. I hope we don't lose him. But he should get us some goals. That's my thinking, and that's what I'm looking for out of him. Now, Hull have become Maine Road's Blackburn in this lovely analogy we're running. And joining us from Hull is Archie Howard, who is another goalkeeper who is going to be kind of fighting for the backup berth. And again, we'll probably play more for our reserves than for our first team this season. But he's not a million miles off being good enough for our first team. He's just, I've signed a lot of goalkeepers, as you'll see. And someone has to miss out because they can only play one. So he might get a lot of game time for the reserves. We'll see how it shakes out for him. But another one for the future, 2-year contract. We'll see how that goes. We went back to Leeds for a centre-half who will play a lot of football for us this season, Reece Chadwick. He is good everywhere you need him to be good. It's saying we're both set as a no-nonsense centre-back, which I probably won't play with, so we'll switch it to a central defender just so we can see more clearly what's happening here. His composure needs work. That's one thing that is going to be an issue for him. I will try and get that worked on if I can find a way that doesn't turn him into more of a striker. But he's quick. And his jumping reach is a little bit suspect. Again, that's something we can work on, but his positioning is very good. So hopefully, especially at this level, he'll be good enough to just help us out and stick around long enough to develop. He doesn't have a full contract. He's on non-contract basis. But I don't anticipate releasing him. I think we'll lose him before we release him, to be honest. And we'll just see how he goes, see how he plays for us. Joe Batty is a right back that has joined us from Hull. And again, a youngster for the future, a 2-year contract for a quick player who really does need to work on his technicals. He will be playing for our reserves mostly this season. But a player I don't feel like would be horribly out of his depth if he had to come in. I'd just like to not rely on him if I can avoid it. Ruben Vanarama is another backup goalkeeper joining us from from Stoke. He does have a load of loan offers, as we can see here, and he'll probably go on loan just so he can be sure he's playing football. He does have potential to play at the Northern Premier League level, so if we can get him a good loan, get him out there playing a lot of football, hopefully he'll come back ready to do a job for us. He's got a 2-year contract as well, and again, another player that I'm really looking forward to seeing develop. Ed Devine is a left-back joining us from Hull. He is very quick and decent enough technically. His mentals, again, need some work. That'll come with experience, with mentoring, with age, all those good things. He's on a non-contract basis. Will probably be our second-choice left-back this season, but, doesn't mean he can't develop. And we'll see what we can get out of him. He's definitely not going anywhere on loan, and hopefully we'll hold on to him for a little while because I think he can become a proper player for us. Now, Leighton Brown is another centre-half signing, joins us from Leeds, can play everywhere up the middle of the park except striker, and can play right back. That versatility that I love to have around, very good there. He is on a 2-year contract, on a very cheap 2-year contract. He's got pace, good decision-making. Everything else needs work. He is a backup for us. He will be a backup this season. He'll play for the reserves more often than not, unless one of these loan offers we've got here comes in, where I could see myself loaning out just to make sure he gets some football. As I said, we've got 2 years with him, so we've got time to see how he shakes out. And hopefully he becomes something. Now, easily our first choice centre-half this season is Alfie Cresswell, who joins us from Leeds. He may not look much in terms of his overall attributes, but everything, again, in the right places. He's got that pace. He just looks like a good player. He's apparently already good enough to play in the league above, and that's a worry when he doesn't have a full contract, and can play 2 divisions higher, which is even more worrying. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I hope we can keep hold of him, or at least hope we can get the best out of him while he's here. And again, having that ex-Leeds kind of credibility to him is definitely going to help us out. In fact, he's playing alongside Reece Chadwick, who he's played alongside at Leeds. That will also play well into our hands, you would hope, because they should have developed some chemistry playing for Leeds' under-18s. Now, Coburn Bird is another ex-Leeds man. Again, we'll go straight into our first team. He's our best left winger by some distance in the squad now. And very quick, good first touch, good crossing, good dribbling. If we look at him as a winger sort of further forward, he can pass. His technique is good, off the ball is good, his work rate is good. Needs to work on his left foot, but I'm not against having him as an inverted winger. I don't know why it thinks he's a better winger than an inverted winger when he doesn't have a left foot. But that's life. We'll just keep an eye on him and see what he turns into. I think he could be quite special. James Clark's a central midfielder, joins us from Rotherham. Again, he has had loan bids in for him from a bunch of clubs. We'll probably let him go out and have a loan. And he's decent. He's not special yet, but can play in those attacking and regular and defensive midfield roles, which are always good to have around. And as I said, he's a sort of 2-year contract, a cheap 2-year contract, another cheap 2-year contract. And if he develops, we've done some great business picking you up for nothing. Alfie Perry joins us from Hull and will be our 3rd or 4th choice centre-half, but can play as a holding midfielder as well. Can play as a central midfielder, all very good. He's got pace. He's got some decent decision-making, which will come in quite handy as a defensive midfielder as well. And can just kind of fill a void. He's not the best header in the world, which is a worry for a centre-half. But again, has plenty of time to develop. We'll play him in the reserves when he's not in the first team squad, because there's no harm in that, really. It will all be good experience. It will help him develop as a player. So we'll see what he turns into. If he can ignore the Premier standard like our coaches think, I'll be happy enough. And the hits continue with Orina Doro, who is joining us now on a permanent. He has, of course, been with us for a couple of seasons in the save, because he was with us on loan at FC United from Oldham. Now spent last season with us here at Maine Road and joined us permanently now on a free from Oldham. Was a regular for us last year. I think he'll be less of a regular for us this year, because we've really developed our left back position. But he's got a 2-year contract. He has big potential. He will probably play in the reserves for a little while. Maybe I'll send him on loan just to give him a bit more football. But I like this kid, and he's been very, very valuable to us so far. And we've been trying to create him as a centre-half as well, which I think will be extra helpful for squad depth going forward. Another familiar face is Donovan Lescott, joining us permanently from FC United. Essentially, I didn't have anything for him at FC United. He wasn't really going to make it into the first team there, because he needs to be playing consistently and regularly at a lower level. So I thought we'll take him permanently to Maine Road, where he was on loan last season, got 10 goals for us in 25 games, and just try and help him out and see if playing regularly for Maine Road helps him kind of work his way back up the pyramid. Now we've got a pile of loans. Sky Sinclair joins us from Bamber Bridge. He's 22 years old, but he's a very good player. Apparently, his current ability is 3.5 stars as a right, but he's a right back by trade. And I'm trying to work out where he's got that 3.5 star ability, because nothing I click on here says he's 3.5 star ability. So I don't know where that could. I can't. Looking at his attributes, I can't even figure out what position that would be in. Maybe as a holding midfielder is where he's really good. I don't know. We'll figure it out as the season progresses. But he's had a bit of a wild career. Came through at Blackpool. I think he might be related to Trevor Sinclair. I don't know if it says it in his information. He's read to Isaac, and let's do some investigate. I think he's probably related to Trevor Sinclair. Trevor Sinclair finished his career at Blackpool. I've got a weird feeling he did. Spoilers. Yeah, weird feeling he did. But there we go. He's got brothers. We will bring all the brothers in. Either way, he's played for us on loan before, from Bamber Bridge. Did okay for us again, or just bringing him back, giving him the chance for it. He played in the North West Counties Premier last year for Runcorn, so he played against him. And yeah, he's just kind of been here, there, and everywhere. I guess so. At this level, yeah, journeyman, trying to find this place, trying to find a home, and a place where he can really show himself off. So hopefully that place is here in this season. Conor McVeigh comes on loan from Marsk in the division below us, but he's an ex-under-19 international, previously of Linfield and Blackpool. Joined Marsk last season, didn't play for them, but he's come to us on loan, and the coaches seem to think he's our third best centre-half. So we're going to go with that. We're going to hope for the best, and we'll just extract whatever we can from him while we've got him. Now, Harley Hunt is a player I really like in real life. He's on loan to us from Swindon, where he started his career in real life. He joined Middlesbrough in the summer, and I think it's going to be a very good. But the game doesn't rate him as highly as I do in real life. You can see the potential here is National League North-South standard. I think give him 4 or 5 years, he'll be a regular championship player. He's very, very good. Either way, I've got to go with what the game gives me. He's good enough to be playing at this level. Says he's our 6th best centre-half, but I'll probably, just because he's a favourite, give him more games. And again, he can play for our reserves if necessary to get that experience. But his positioning is good, his tackling is good. All things we will be looking for from him. And we'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully he'll get some good game time. James Tizard is on loan from Kettering. He's a 17-year-old central defensive midfielder who can also switch out to the right-hand side if he needs to. Very aggressive, very brave. He's kind of a Roy Keane type player. Probably not with Roy Keane's ability, but he's a Roy Keane type player, ball-winning midfielder who can be a deep-lying playmaker, which is always useful to have in the squad. Has played once for Kettering in the Southern League Premier, and since that's the league above us and he played well, hopefully that bodes very well for us. Charlie Ragg joins us as a backup striker on loan from Warsaw, and I think he's pretty good as a poacher first level. He's good heading, his finishing as a poacher are acceptable, his pace is pretty good. He's not special, but he should get some goals for us. Spent last season on loan in Frome in the Southern South, so the same level as this. 4 goals in 14 isn't a great return, but I don't know how good their team was. So maybe it was a case that he got 14 and 4 for a team that went down. We'll probably have a look and see if they went down. That'll tell us something at least. They actually look like they went. Oh, they've stayed in the same division. They've stayed. Okay, I'm a little bit worried now. They finished 3rd last year and he only got 4 goals. Anyway, we're going to hope we can get more out of him. Hopefully we do. And I guess we just have to wait and see. Harvey Cribb comes on loan from Grimsby as a central midfielder. He looks like a very good central midfielder. Nothing spectacular, but very much a central midfielder. He's not a Mazzala or anything. But he's quick, he can pass the ball, his vision's decent, his work rate's decent. If I used him as a playmaker, I don't think he'd struggle at this level. He is 19, but he's played a lot of football because he's been constantly out on loan pretty much since joining Grimsby from Scunthorpe. It's a bit controversial, but he's had a season on loan at Felixstowe, and he played half a season at Felixstowe, half a season at Witham, I think it is. Was it Whiteham? I don't know. Anyway, played the Expedia Division 1, so he's done okay there. Played very, very well there. Played well for Ware in the southern version of this league, and now he joins us, and we'll just again have to see what he can become for us because he looks pretty good, and I'd have no qualms about throwing him in there. Freddie Jeffries comes on loan from Bradford. He's 20 years old, a central midfielder. Probably not as good as the other guys we've seen in central midfielder, despite the fact that since the game thinks it's our 3rd best central midfielder. I'm not entirely convinced. But maybe as a holding midfielder, he's a bit more suited. It's hard to tell, really. But we'll give it a go. His pace is worrying, but his here is costing us nothing. If it doesn't work out, they'll recall him. Roger Veach is a 17-year-old attacking midfielder on loan from Warsaw. It wants me to play as a playmaker. His vision's not quite there, neither is his passing, so I'm not quite sure where it's getting that from. But he's a player, essentially, one for anyone I could pick up who played at a decent level or was coming from a decent level who wasn't costing us money to fill out the squad, to be honest, because they didn't have a very big squad after all the transfers. He did spend a season at Farsley before he joined Warsaw, so he's a Farsley Academy graduate, and he played 35 times in the National League North at the age of what would have been 15, I guess, at the time. Maybe 16, maybe just turned 16. And yeah, he's 35 games, mostly half of them off the bench, but 4 goals, 2 assists in the National League North. That tells me this kid's got a little bit more about him, these star ratings are telling me. And maybe a little bit more about him. Maybe it's just all his attributes are in the right place. But I think maybe this kid's a sleeper hit for us this season. Colin Gilmore is a centre-half who can play both fullback roles. Northern Irish, 17 years old, on loan to us from Tamworth. I don't think he's anything special. Again, he's filling a gap in the squad. He'll probably spend a little bit of time more time with our reserves than our first team. But he's just a player that I got for free to fill out a spot in the squad. So hopefully he can come good for us. Jack Whiting's a left back on loan from Bradford Park. I mean, he's very much in a similar mould to Gilmore, is that he's filling out a spot in the squad. He has played significantly more football than a lot of players in the squad. He's 20 years old. Started off his career at Doncaster, joined Bradford Park Avenue, played the Northern Premier 5 times, played at this level for City and Liverpool 29 times the season after that, or the back end of that season, before going back to Bradford Park Avenue for another appearance, back out at the United Counties Premier League, which I think is the same level as this, again for another 28 appearances, joins us. So I think this is kind of his level at the moment, and he needs to be developing. Wasn't spectacular at any of those clubs, but again, he's here to essentially provide cover. Lewis Lloyd is a Welsh striker in from Guiseley on loan, and again, competition places. He's apparently as good as Donovan Lescott, who was very good for us last season, and Nat Wallace, who's been here the entire time. Pretty good for a pressing forward is what we're looking at here. He's got the teamwork, will work great. He's got the bravery, the aggression, the finishing, composure is all right for this level. The pace is pretty good. The agility is pretty good. Balance and decisions are suspect, but that's probably why he's playing at this level. But again, he has played some football, which is really important to us. He started off at Chester Nomads, where he played 41 times, got 18 goals, a couple of divisions below this, which is what has earned him the move to Guiseley last season. They loaned him back out to the level, I think, 2 below this, or 1 level below this. Phil Crowland's Town in the Eastern Counties Division 1 North for a further 3 goals in 10. He's had 21 goals and 51 league appearances at 18. He's pretty good, and we'll see if he can get on the score sheet for us regularly and take it from there, really. Charlie Liddicoat is a striker and attacking midfielder on levels from Forest Green. I don't think he's very good. Again, he was probably just to fill a spot and he's not costing us anything. We'll see how it goes. His mentals are very, very good for an 18-year-old who is playing at this level, and his technicals are on paper quite good. I think it's his physicals letting him down, because balance and natural fitness as an attacker are probably much less valuable than pace, stamina, and acceleration. So that's probably what's going on there. But when we look at his history, he played at this level for Bideford last season alone and didn't score. We played 14 games, and then he played, I think, Barton Town are at this level, give or take, 22 games and 1 goal, 2 assists. So I think he's played a lot of his career as the attacking midfielder rather than the striker. That's probably hindered him. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll give him a run out in the reserves. If he gets off to a goal scoring start for the reserves, maybe he can move his way up. We'll find out. Rory Lawson is a winger, Scottish winger, joins us from Gainsborough on loan. Again, was brought in just as cover. His physicals are good, his dribbling is good, nothing else is good. His personality is terrible as an unambitious player. He does apparently have potential, but he probably won't reach it. But again, he's just cover, essentially. Played for Newcastle Town last year, got two goals and 2 assists in 16 appearances. They're quite a good average rating, to be honest. So he could be a good player for us. We'll just go have to see how he shakes out for us in this season. Now we've got Roy Burslewis. He is on loan from Darlington. He's a right back and probably good enough to be on the fringe of our first team. He's as good as P.I. Nicholson, who did play for us a lot of right back last season. Doesn't have the pace necessarily, but his mentals are pretty good all around. His technicals are not the worst I've ever seen at this level. So we'll just hope for the best. But again, another unambitious player. Has played previously for Blythe Town in the Northern Division 2, so the division below this, the one we just came out of, and did well. So he's good enough to be on the fringe of our squad for sure. 73 games, 6 goals, 7 assists, and a player of the match. Isn't an awful return. He's been very consistent at 6.7. If his report says he's consistent, and it doesn't, which is odd, really, because he's hit the same average rating 2 seasons in a row. There you go. I don't know what the game's thinking. Either way, there we go. The Roy Burslewis is going to come in, and we'll see if he becomes a real player or not. Ollie Robinson is another player for depth, really. Joined solo from Harrogate on a free. He's a striker. He's a poacher. He's quick enough. I mean, he could play well as an advanced forward, but he can't pass the ball, so that doesn't help. Essentially, he's a goal hanger. We've signed a goal hanger. We'll see how that goes. And finally, Daniel Cameron came in last minute as a goalkeeper, released by Sunderland in the summer. And he is immediately our first choice goalkeeper. He's disgustingly good for this level. He's a leading Northern Premier League player who could play at the league above, which is nice to have around. He's on a non-contract basis, but he's done his time out on the loan circuit after going through at Sunderland's youth. Has stayed very firmly in the northeast as well. So he's played 3 games on loan at Seaham Red Star, which is just up the coast from Sunderland. West Auckland is not terribly far outside Sunderland as well. Played 19 games there, and then went on loan to Newton Aircliffe, which is, again, not terribly far from Sunderland, and was at this level where he's played very well. Only conceded 9 goals in 13 appearances, which I think is something we've been quite enthused by, having signed him on a free. So that's our new signings. Let's have a quick look, actually, just to see the season preview, because I should show you that. And if we ever get there, we might get there one day. There There we go. Got there. Let's have a look at the season preview. So we've just been promoted to the Northern League, Northern League One Northwest, and our season preview says that we should be walking this one with odds-on favourites, despite the fact that the best or the Dream 11 doesn't contain any, or does contain Daniel Cameron, doesn't contain any other of our other players. Contains actually, I think, more players from Bamber Bridge. But apparently we're the favourites, so I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to hope we live up to our pre-season promise, and we'll find out if we can start doing that with the FA Cup. So, with all those new signings introduced, our lineup for Maine Road for this game against AFC Portchester in the FA Cup is as follows. Daniel Cameron starts in goal. Josh Stewart is going to start right back. He's not fully fit, but I would rather have him start and get us off to a good start, because I don't know how good Portchester are, than try anyone else in there. We've got Weiss Chadwick and Alfie Cresswell as centre-half partnership. Ed Devine starts at left-back. Adu and Amaral, who were here last season, of course, start in the centre of midfield. We've got Tierney, Carroll and Third starting as the attacking midfield trio, and Charlie Ragg starting up top. On the bench, we've got Colin Gilmore, Connor McVeigh, Sky Sinclair, Rory Lawson, Roger Veach, Joe Ridley and Donovan Lescott, just to give us options everywhere on the park except in goal. So if Daniel Cameron gets hurt, we're in trouble. But that's fine. We'll see what happens. Let's go get to the game. So here we are in the dressing room for our big FA Cup tie. Says this is a match we should be winning. Make sure we do. So we're going to, act accordingly, I suppose. Take control. And Glenn Tierney seems nervous. I don't know why. He's probably played the most games for us of everyone in this squad. So he probably shouldn't be that nervous, but that's life. Just realised I didn't pick Jordan Carroll. I feel bad now. Oh well. He'll get a game at some stage. We're just telling him he's being rested because it's not easy. That's fine. Anyway, Portchester have lost a game already this season. I'm guessing that was a league game. So, that's also a thing to pay attention to. I don't know why we always get like this orange filter at Maine Road. I don't know why it's always at Maine Road we get it, but there we go. Maybe there's something particularly weird about the skies over this side at Manchester. Who knows? Anyway, we've got a corner alley. It's Devine. It's not Reece Devine this time. It's Ed Devine and Bird. Bird going back to Ed Devine, to Cresswell, who can't pick it up, and Brady is now on a counter. And I'd like to not lose this game, because going out the FA Cup this early would be disastrous for us. As Carter Byrne goes back to McCarthy in his goal, to Shakes. Shakes finds Lucinda, and Lucinda is running at us now, all across to Edgar. Edgar absolutely making fun of Coburn Bird there. I don't know how he's doing that. Edgar again plays the ball. They're a better team than the game gave them credit for here, because Fitchett is through, and that's a goal. And frankly, this looks like we're playing against a Premier League team. They're ridiculous in this opening stage, and I'm not sure that's okay. I hope that's just an anomaly, and that we can turn things around as the game progresses. Throwing now with Devine to Carroll, back to Devine. Devine going across to Cresswell. Cresswell over the top looking for Ragg. Can't find him, headed away. Adu can't win it in the area. The Brady to Asiaya. I've never, no chance. Fitchett wins the ball back. He's already put one in the net already. Luckily it didn't count. And now it's through to Finlaw, to Barker. And again, we are all at sea at the back. And Cameron has saved us quite literally there. And we are looking terrible in this first half. I'll be honest, this is one of the worst first halves I've ever seen from any club I've ever managed on FM. So I don't know what's happening here. Hopefully we can make things better. Bird's picked up a knock. Devine's put a throw in. Devine back across to Ragg, who plays out to Bird. That's really not super smart. Amaral to Adu. Adu to Stewart. Stewart, can he turn and run? Can he just run? Stewart with a cross, looking for Carroll. Carroll has set Theo Carroll with a header, and it's just over. And at least we've got a shot on the board, which is something, I guess. I am very aware that Bird and Stewart are going to have to come fairly early into this tie, because they're both already knackered after 20 minutes. Probably a risk calculation. That's fine. We'll encourage the boys again. Hopefully they'll get fired up and produce something, as Stewart goes back to Chadwick with a throw-in. Forward to Amaral. I don't know how that was the referee. I was like, how have they not picked that up? Because the referee's wearing the same colour as Portchester. Good stuff. Amaral to Chadwick. Chadwick to Adu. Adu back to Chadwick to Amaral again. Amaral with a ball through to Tierney to Adu. Adu looking for a ball down the line to Stewart to Tierney again. Can Tierney create something here? Looks to cut it back to Stewart. Cross over the top for Carroll. Carroll with a head out again. It's over the bar. And I'm not sure if Theo Carroll playing as a support striker is necessarily the best thing for him. As McCarthy puts the ball forward, Bird can't win it in the air. He probably can't jump. He's knackered. And Lucinda now coming straight at us. Devine wins it back, thankfully. Cresswell, are we settling in finally to the game? Cameron, ball forward again to Cresswell. Cresswell looking for a through ball to Adu. Adu going forward now to Tierney. Tierney hopefully will to the overlap. Doesn't. Luckily, it doesn't give it away. Rag goes wide to Bird. Bird gets tackled by Finlaw. And, we just can't get into the final third properly. Defiant to Amaral to Tierney. Tierney looking for a run. Should have looked for a pass, maybe. He's very left-footed, so probably should have. Stewart with a cross, looking for Bird. And that's, again, over the bar. And I've got questions. I've got questions about this team in the final third already. I just don't know if I should have stuck with last year's team at this point, because some of these new additions are not doing what, I mean, to be fair, Glenn Tierney was here last year and it's not exactly setting the world on fire. So hopefully we'll just slowly build confidence as Alton Camp puts a ball in. They've got a Dutch player. That's disgusting. Cameron, can he get a ball forward to someone? Anyone? Rolls it out to Cresswell. We'll take it. It's not ideal. We'll take it. Amaral to Bird. Bird finds Carroll. Carroll out wide for Tierney. Tierney going to go on a little run here. Can he maybe get a crossover? Is that going to happen? He does get a crossover. Carroll is there. Carroll with a header. And it's just wide. And frankly, we should have put one in by now. We've had no shots on target, despite having 6 shots in total and a better XG. Don't know how that works. That's life. We're coming up on half time, so we'll see if maybe there's some tweaks or some thoughts to be had, and try and get a better second half. But I say keep going. We can win this if we work hard as a team. And that's a good overall message, but we need to grab these boys, and we should grab more by the scruff of their neck a little bit, and just say, look, lads, if you could anything else, that'd be great. And they seem motivated, so let's see if they actually show that in the second half. Throwing now with Stewart, who is going to come off shortly, to Tierney, back to Stewart. Bird with a header, Bird over the bar. He's booked and injured now, so probably going to be him coming off very shortly as well. And hopefully the replacements I send on, I already have a kind of idea of ahead of who's coming off, are going to perform much better than what we're seeing so far, which has been, honestly, quite rubbish. As Lucinda goes back to Edgar, cross goes over and headed away by Nadu. And it's with Theo Carroll for a counter-attack. Can we get a goal at last? Through ball to Rag, who was well offside. I don't even know why he's shooting. He was so far offside there. But frankly, you saw it way before the pass happened. Finmore now to Edgar, back to Shakes. And Shakes is looking for a ball forward to Lucinda. Lucinda back to Shakes. Shakes over the top. Win this in the air, boys. Cresswell's done it. Good. But he's giving it away to Finlaw because Carroll did not move quick enough. And Stewart wins it back. Adu to Bird. Stewart's been our best player so far. I'm going to have to take him off because he's knackered. It's worrying. Rag is through. Rag with a shot. Charlie Rag scores. Is he onside this time? It looks like it's good. Okay, we're fine. He managed to stay onside. We've got the lead. We fought far harder than we should have had to for this game. And Bird picks up an assist, which is nice. He's still going to come off because he's crippled. Tierney's crippled as well, to be honest. So they're both coming off. And so is Josh Stewart. So hopefully the replacements will make a bit of an impact. Throwing now with Lucinda. I've done a bit of a tactics. Donovan Westcott was one of the guys I've sent on. He's picked up a knock, which is helpful. Roy Lawson is on the other side. Carroll's moved up top. Sky Sinclair at right back. Gilmore at left back are playing as an inverted fullback because he's definitely a better centre half than he is a fullback. And Amaral now goes forward to Lawson. Lawson to Carroll. Carroll to Adu. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a scare for Lescott because I've got no replacement. Always at the top forward, Carroll. And Theo Carroll finally scored. Maybe moving him forward, he's maybe not the best attacking midfielder. And playing on top maybe is the answer to our problems. There we go. We fixed it. We fixed everything. And maybe 4-2-4 is the way forward as Carroll finally gets a goal and looks like a threat, which is nice to see. Hopefully a thing that will continue, and we've got 65 minutes down, 2-0 up, and hopefully something else to come, because that's going to be necessary. I'm going to keep an eye on Lescott. I will take them off if I absolutely have to. I just don't want to, because there's not a natural replacement there. There's Chadwick heading forward now for Lawson. Lawson on a run through. Lawson with a shot, and that's not very good at all. But that's why. And still 2-0. Still keep an eye on Lescott. I'll replace him, like I said, if I have to. But it looks like he's recovering nicely. So we'll keep that extra sub in the back pocket just in case someone else decides to give up the ghost today. Breaking now with Adu. Our ball goes forward to Gilmore. Can't quite get that. Adu gets it back, though. He's going to have a pop from Rage. And Michael Adu, what a way to open his account for the season. 25 yards out. Just felt like everything had gone very poorly. We'll look at this again. His free kick goes in. Gilmore can't win it in the air. Barker does instead. Adu breaks through 3 guys to win it back and just goes short. Boys, if you guys aren't going to do it for my free kick, I will. And smashes that all home. That is a pretty tidy finish. And we can start to think about maybe protecting someone. Maybe even Adu. Corner, I did take off Adu for Veach. And there's Amaral now taking the corner into the box, looking for Rag. Rag with a header saved by the keeper the first time, not the second time. Charlie Rag gets his second off the keeper's parry, and 2 goals on a debut. He can do the Archer celebration. We'll allow it because that is worth it. And Charlie Rag, good way to introduce himself to the fans. I think we're probably going to stick with this 4-2-4 for the rest of the season because it's looking mighty effective with these 2 up top. And yeah, I guess we've learned the thing today. We've got a corner against us, but it's 4-0, so we shouldn't be worrying too much as it ticks over to 90 minutes. 3 added on. Finlaw to take the corner into the box, and Carter Burr puts it wide. It is not going to be Portchester's day, and after a very bad start, we've turned things around, and we're looking for a 5th. Sinclair to Amaral, back to Chadwick, over the top looking for Lawson. Lawson gets brought down in the box, and Charlie Rag should be about to step up and take a penalty, unless I forgot to tick the box where the guy on a hat-trick takes a penalty, which is possible I have, because I always forget to. It is, I have done that. Theo Carroll steps up and spray at the goalkeeper. Good stuff. Good stuff. I have to remember to make sure I've got that. I always forget. I don't always not automatically tick. It's just basic football decency. Anyway, we're going to win this one 4-0. That's happy days. And we can wrap up the episode proper now because we've found a way through. So we'll say nice work, everyone. That was good. And we'll work out where we're going to come back. Okay, so having a little look around. We're going to come back for the 29th of November, I think, because we've got Gloucester away now, FC United. We've got Vauxhall Motors for Maine Road. I did look at the 8th of November. I don't think Maine Road are playing. Let's have a look and see on this roll. It's off the screen. We could. Oh, let's do that. Let's do Macclesfield and Trafford. That feels good. We'll find some kind of Old Trafford pun or something for the title. That'll get people watching. Anyway, let's wrap up the episode, shall we? Thanks for watching, guys. I have, as always, been chasing. Do like, subscribe, ring the bell. I am on a bit of a march. I'm hoping, if we get really lucky, if everyone who is watching this who hasn't subscribed already hits subscribe, based on statistics, we can hit 500 subs by the end of the year. I know it's a big ask, but just check. If you haven't already subbed, try it. We're only like 150-ish away. I think there's 150 of you watching who probably haven't subbed yet. So let's give that a go. Let's see if that works out. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. How has always been chasing, namely. Do like, subscribe, ring the bell, share it with your friends, leave comments down below, And until next time, stay safe and have a good one.